things I want to show you on Windows 10, and we're going to do that right here, right now. So let's kick this off by starting with battery saver mode. Now we know, I'm pretty sure we're aware of the battery saver mode right here, which comes on Windows 10, but what I want to talk more about is the specific option. So if we go into System and we scroll down till we see battery saver, well, you don't have to scroll down here. But what I want to do is go into battery saver options, and I want to show you that these apps right here, it says these apps can run in the background and send and receive push notifications. And why I included this in the list is because when we turn on battery saver, we tend to not have all of the notifications we want. So right here, what Windows 10 allows you to do is pick your specific apps that you do want to sync to you through battery saver, because a lot of the times we're running out of battery, but then again, we don't get all the stuff that we want to come in. So as you can see, you got Microsoft Phone, People, all these things it disables while battery savers mode is on. So basically you're not receiving anything, and this could be important. So that's why it's tip number one. So remember, we just go into settings, and we're going to go into System, battery saver, and we're going to go down to battery saver settings and go down to add an app. And once we get to add an app, that's where you can add your personalized app. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is display options. And you might say, well, Nick, I already know about the display. It says it right there, display, system and display. So display options, and why I included this is because it's a little bit tricky. There's two display options in Windows 10. Also, this was in Windows 8.1, but it was a little bit easier to find. So in here we have the high bright. We know the typical, change the brightness levels here, but there's also another one, and you can find this by going into here and just tapping display. And as you can see, when I type display, there's two display options here. Now this one is the one I just showed you, but this first option right here is going to actually got that wrong. The first one is the one I just showed you, and the second one is the second one. It's included within extras. So in this display mode, this is where we can go ahead and see sunlight readability. And what basically that does is when you're outdoors, it increases the maximum nits brightness that the display will shoot out to you. This way you can read your Lumia very easily in direct sunlight. Also, we have battery saver brightness, which will dim the screen even lower than it'll dim it lower than dim, while you have battery saver enabled. Also, under brightness profile, we can manually adjust what low goes to, like this. So if you really want to eke out a lot of battery life, you can set your medium even lower and have it on medium. So you can manually go through this. And us veteran Windows Phone users probably already know about this option, but this is for all of you who didn't know that there was a second display option within your Windows Phone, making your display experience much better. And the color profile is basically going to allow you to switch it between a vivid mode, a cool mode, a standard mode, and advanced mode. Advanced is more like for people who are more into, editing photos, and they can really get the exact temperature they want, or if you just want to mess around with it, but it's more for those photo editing kind of people. But vivid here is going to make it more saturated. Cool is going to be a very cool bluish temperature, and standard is more of a warm, I would say similar to what the iPhone gives it out the box. So there we go. That's tip number two, the second display option. Tip number three is going to be one-handed mode, and you may know this once again if you read into Windows 10 features, but basically all you're going to want to do is hold the Windows key down here, and when you hold the Windows key, let's hold it, you're going to see it's going to drop down. Now, I think Microsoft, this is a technical preview, I think Microsoft needs to do a little bit more work on this one-handed mode, because when you scroll like this, you don't really get to the edge of the screen. As you can see, if I hold it back up, settings, there's so much more apps down here, and when I hold it, it doesn't go all the way down. So it is a little bit of a broken feature, but I could still see where it could be useful because Lumia devices are a lot of times wide. So even though they're not very huge devices, except for the XL models in the 1520, they're usually a little bit wide. So wrapping our hands around them is not the most from here to here to here to here Apple-like experience. So anyways, sorry to bash Apple. I just like to bash their marketing. I love Apple products. I like all technology. We don't discriminate against any technology here, but we had to get them on that one. And that feature where you can drop it down below is going to be useful, I would say right now, because it's not super optimized. Probably just scrolling in apps and, finding an app you want one-handed. Messaging will work well. Like if you're taking a note in OneNote, for example, if we hop over into OneNote and let's start up a new note. If you drop it down, you just need to tap something, come back up, and then the keyboard is right there for you. So I can see where it's going to be a little bit useful